Well, here it is in all its glory. My new to me 1996 Suzuki Carry DD51T. Been driving it for about a week. I got this one from Boyke, USA, up in Paterson, New Jersey. Excellent guy working there. Anyone who's in the area should go see their inventory. This is a 5-speed because I am using it as my daily driver. Five-speed with extra low, 2-wheel, 4-wheel, and air conditioning. Those were my 3 minimum specs: is to have air conditioning, 5-speed, and at least be 2-wheel drive. But this came with 4-wheel drive, and as an extra perk, the extra low. It's pretty much, I wouldn't say immaculate condition, but I'm 26 years old. This floor mat, this is the only wear. And the back of the seat, I guess somebody opening and closing it for 26 years, this part is damaged because they must have used this for storage. So one of these lifetimes I'll plan to reupholster the seats and maybe raise the cushions up about an inch and a half, maybe 2, and reupholster everything, bring it up to date. No damage on the door cards. Windows work, locks work. Air conditioning is ice cold. Heat is incredible. I actually have to crack the window open, and that's at minimum heat, so I don't cook in here. Truck came with about 90,000 kilometers, roughly 61,000 miles. The first upgrade I did was the window washer, wipers. They were oddball sizes, not the correct one, so I have a 16-inch Bosch Clear Advantage here, and I'm waiting on an 19-inch for this driver's side coming in next week. All the lights work. I have LED lights on order and being delivered. The only thing I still have to search is for upgrades on these LEDs for those. But as far as the side markers, turn signal, the tail lights, signal lights, I have a light bar, LED light bar, which I have on my other truck here. It's a reverse light, and this thing is awesome. It basically lights up the entire rear behind you. That little light that's there, it's when it's dark, you can't see anything. The reverse light. I was able to modify by putting nut certs in the metal, because the Japanese bolt centers are roughly about 8 inches on center, while North American are a little over 6. However, for the front, I'm waiting on an adapter plate so I can install those plates. So all the LEDs, including the license plates, are going to be upgraded to, all the lights are going to be upgraded to LEDs. The only thing other one I have to spec out is this one, which I can't take out this cover without damaging it. That's not important, and this works. No rust, at least no through rust. Everything that you see is just some surface rust, scratches there. The undercarriage is in excellent condition as far as rust. It's all superficial around the seams, welding points. Same thing with the panels, the doors. Now these are not the original tires. It's what I did yesterday. The original tires were 13-inch rims, 21-inch diameter by 5.5. They had roughly about 3/32 of tread depth. First few days it rained like crazy here. I didn't go crazy driving this at higher speeds, even on the highway. And yes, I did take it up to 65 miles an hour on the highway for about 9 miles to and from work. I'm doing about 70 miles round trip every day. 18 of those miles are highway at 65 or above, 9 miles each way, and this thing had no issues. I'm hoping with these newer tires, basically I went to 15-inch Steelies, and they're 23 inches wide by 7 inches deep. I'm hoping I get a little bit performance out of this as far as ride. And these are Summit Ultramax, and they are 185/55 R15. And these are exactly 23 inches in diameter by exactly 7 inches in depth or wide, and they're for 15-inch wheels. I have no issues with it rubbing on anything in the back. It went from a 2-inch gap down to a 1-inch gap. The front ones, no issue on the driver's side at all. Full lock left and full lock right, nothing rubs, everything clears. The only issue I'm having is passenger side. Full lock left, it rubs in the back corner there, and the clearance right here is about 1/4 inch between the bolt of this mud flap. I do have the issue with that truck also. When I upgraded the tires full lock either way, it does rub on the inner. One thing I forgot to mention is with the 23-inch diameter tires coming from a 21-inch, I did gain about 3/4 of an inch of lift. I'm hoping with the new shocks and the new springs in the front, maybe I'll gain another inch or so, inch to maybe 2 inches. I don't want to put a lift kit. Most people are putting a 2-inch lift kit on this. I want to try to keep the center of gravity on this thing as low as possible. I think it looks great the way it is stocked, but with the new I'm trying to see about progressive springs. They may give me about 1 inch to 2 inch lift, and then I'll have to get still have to do my homework about getting longer shackles so the truck is evened out, and hopefully that'll get rid of the rubbing I'm getting on full lock left with this tire on the back corner of the fender. But overall, those have been my first 2 upgrades. And what I did, I took one of the original tires that were in better condition and replaced the spare. Is back here. The original spare was the same size, R13. However, it had a lot of dry rot because it was probably never used. So I took one of the original ones on the side and put it here to have as a spare, and I'll keep the other 3 as a backup. But overall, I am tickled pink with this thing. I plan to upgrade the spring to see if I can get a slightly better ride. 26 years old. I guarantee that the springs will never change. So maybe I can get a little bit of lift here and a little bit of ride. And with that, I'll also replace the rear shocks. Even though they're not that bad, you should replace your shocks. At least I do it on all my vehicles every 50 to 70,000 miles because they do wear. Interior is, I mean, for this thing being 26 years old, it's in immaculate condition as far as covers are not torn or damaged or abused. The clutch is excellent. Shifting is excellent. I checked the brakes, the front brake pads. Sometime in the spring or summer, I'm going to upgrade that braking system. Not much on storage with these things, so I plan to hopefully put a camo box here. I spec'd out a 40 millimeter one that's roughly 17 inches by 10 by 6 deep. I just gotta weld a frame here that I can mount it on, and it'll tilt out, and when it tilts in, it'll be lockable. Battery looks excellent condition so far. I haven't tested it, but no issues. Right now we're in 30-40 degree weather. Some mornings are in the upper 20s, and it has started up with no hiccups at all. Interior wise, this thing is not bad as far as comfort. It's not the greatest thing, but it could be worse. The foam underneath the cushions are still soft, even the back. Again, this will be upgraded. The only thing that is a little stiff is the headrest, but I think that's by design. Maybe during the upgrade I'll make them a little softer. This particular model also comes with has diff lock with this transmission. All the clusters work good, no tachometer. That'll probably be upgrade modification to something mounted in this area here, so I can see, even though shifting I have no problem. It's just a nice visual thing to look at. All the vents work. Blower. This particular I guess when it was ordered, doesn't have a passenger vent. There is an insert here so you can put the vent, and you need the tube that goes from here to the main ductwork. The ductwork does have a stub that's sealed off, that I guess all you have to do is cut that and then install that ductwork in here. So I'll have to source that out through Japan. Heating, air conditioning cluster works. When I take this dash apart, hopefully in the spring, I'll clean and sand down any surface rust and lube it, because they are a little stiff. Original air conditioning, Japanese radio, so I'm not sure if it picks up American. I've been seeing that it doesn't pick up American stations because it only works with Japanese radio stations. I finally figured out how to change the time, and it has a built-in speaker. Storage here, ashtray. However, this one I noticed, out of all the videos I've seen, never had a 12-volt cigarette lighter installed. It still has a factory plug in here, and that's the only issue I have with plugging in my phone. I have to make sure that my phone is charged before and during the day while I ride to work. I plan to upgrade this to have a dual port 12-volt USB connection. There is a grill here. I guess it was an option for a speaker. Maybe that'll be an upgrade for a woofer. I'm not sure. And no cup holder, so I'll have to see about doing something here. There are no speakers on the doors on this unit, so that's one of my upgrades that I'm parting out. I want to put a Android radio here. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the 7-inch ones diagonal with the specs that I wanted. Something not that expensive, no 4G. I just want to connect it to my phone and use the Android Auto app to communicate. So the only one I found was a 10-inch, which is basically the width of this here, and it'll sit from right below this lip up, and I have to customize some kind of bracket to then run all the wiring through a hole here. And then I have to see what is the maximum diameter speakers I can put in this area without interfering with the glass. Right now I know I can get a 4-inch, maybe 5-inch, but if I can get some slightly larger, maybe some 6x8s in there. My idea is that the window only goes as low as here, but I don't know exactly what's behind here. So I'll have to take this all apart and see what speakers I can put in here, just to get some music in here. This did come with the probably aftermarket wiper control to control the speed. The speed on here is slow and slower. Even though that has the same function, it gives you almost a variable from fast, which is not fast. It just goes from high to low, and then you get kind of more degrees of speed. This works excellent. I have options to mount accessories there, and there also plan to maybe in the future add some fog lights. I do like driving with fog lights when they're needed, so maybe put a switch there because it's right in line with the turn signal, which is on the right for these vehicles. This is right-handed drive. That way I can have access to the drive. There's also accessory ports, or at least you have, if you want to do something there and on the other side. Steering is great. This truck does bounce around when you're hitting certain ruts. It does bounce around, and I think that's an issue between the suspension and the tires being old. As far as the engine goes, like most of these Japanese Kei trucks, you do have access from the passenger side. On this one, when you unclamp the front there, both of these pieces come out. This folds down and you take the whole thing out. This, from my understanding, I don't remember where the sticker is now, but the timing belt, oh, here it is, was changed, if I remember correctly, was changed at around 51,000 kilometers. So at least I know the maintenance was done on this. All the fluids are good. Brake, oil. I plan to in the spring or sometime in 2023 is spark plugs, wires, rotor, and do the oil change at its interval. Funny enough, the jack is there, the jack handle is here, but no lug nut wrench, which is on order. I couldn't find any. I haven't seen anyone mention about this, so I have one of those collapsible ones that I can just throw behind the seat. The engine looks clean on this. From what I can tell, no oil leaks, no damage as far as physically on the outside, as far as it being, used for off-roading in Japan. Headache rack is in excellent condition. I plan to put one of the covers up here. I may just buy like a U-shape plastic off of Amazon It's not like the original one style, but at least if I carry lumber or material on here, this won't get beat up. Plan to do some upgrades more for creature comfort. I guess bring it up to 2000 specs, you know, with the LED lights, so that way everyone can see me on the road. And so far I've been getting a lot of questions and looks, and from people at the gas station and other places. Like anyone who's owned one of these trucks knows, you do get a lot of attention. But and doing work last week, 4 days, doing 280 miles, I think I did, in 4 days. I crunched a number and I was getting 32 miles per gallon on this thing. You see other YouTube videos that say, oh, you don't get that much, don't buy it for this, don't buy it for that. I always say it's how you drive, where you drive, and what you drive. So you can't go by what other people say that you're not going to get good mileage. You may not get good mileage if you drive this thing redlining it and you drive it rough. You may drive in areas where you got a lot of hills and, you know, ups and downs, a lot of stops. You're not going to get good mileage. At least for me, I doubled my mileage from 32 miles per gallon to this thing getting 16 miles to the gallon. So that's a big plus for us. Thank you for watching. I hope that this is entertaining and at least informative for anybody who's thinking about getting one of these Kei trucks or has one. I plan to do a series of videos for this alone on all the upgrades, modifications, maintenance. Even though there's a lot of maintenance videos out there for basic things like oil changes, spark plugs, brakes, I may not include those, but as far as the upgrades and mods and any improvement, there'll be a lot of follow-up videos. Again, thank you for watching.